Cool. So, hi, Sunny. Thanks for joining us today. Uh, so, I wanted to focus sort of on your career and aspirations, sort of
Mhm.
musically. So, you sort of started your musical journey when you were a lot younger. Um, how has music sort of influenced your life?
Honestly, I started out doing a bunch of sports. I was a huge athlete growing up, and I feel like sports heavily influenced my music because, it really taught me discipline. It really taught me about, preparation, dedication, and just persistence. And just like, coming out and performing on stage, it's exactly the same as, preparing for a match. So I feel like, every time I prepare for a match, I listen to music. And when you're out there, it's all about energy. It's about
Yeah,
how the crowd, feeds the energy to you. So it's kind of like, transferable. And it really affects on how you perform. And to me, it's all about rhythm. So whenever I'm out there doing my sports, playing tennis, playing golf, playing basketball, it's really all about rhythm for me. So I'm a huge, like rhythmic guy when it comes to music as well. Everything is super upbeat. And yeah, it just really influenced my music, I guess. I wanted to do music more than sports. That's the reason, for my transition full time into music. Yeah.
yeah. Cool. So in terms of music and then social media as well, we've noticed you sort of built a significant following on like TikTok or YouTube, Instagram, so on. So how has the social media side of things um, impacted you as a independent artist? Like, there been any positives or any challenges that you faced?
hmm Let's start with the challenges.
Sure.
Honestly, nowadays everything is governed by social media. We're heavily influenced by it, daily. It's ubiquitous. You can't live without it, honestly. So it does sometimes affect, I would say, my mindset, my trajectory, I would say. Sometimes it might distract me a little bit because I feel like I'm more insecure. I'm not perfect. These guys are like way above me. And but it keeps me in a very grounded position, and it taught me how to just stay focused and do your own thing. I think it's really important that rather than chasing perfection, it's all about the process, the craft, the journey, and always learning new things. Social media provides a lot of new information daily. So, I just try to be as open-minded as possible and I try to, get as much insight, whether it's music or the world or whatever is going on. And when I first started out on TikTok, it really had nothing to do with my music, honestly, which I was quite not upset about, but it wasn't really what I wanted.
Okay.
'Cause all of my most viral videos on TikTok were either dancing in public or just being goofy or just showing my fun, just super quirky side of me, super transparent.
Yeah.
But whenever I would post, a music content, it just wouldn't do as well. So I didn't really get the recognition that I wanted. So, but I still try to leverage, all my audience, my following, you know, back to my music or whatever I'm doing. And right now I'm fully transitioning, all my social media back into, my music. And the good side of it is that you learn more about yourself, you learn more about what you really want. And I really like, you know, this sentence or this quote, which is imitation is the greatest form of flattery,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like I learned so much more about myself and I learned how to develop my artistry more, by learning how all these successful, independent artists are doing, and I just try to just kind of like mirror them, and not imitate, but just learn off of them. Whatever they're not doing great, I try to avoid. Whatever they're doing great, I try to learn, and I try to just incorporate that into kind of like my content, my music.
I agree. So you were mentioning about sort of music and influence, and I've read before you've mentioned Justin Bieber as one of your
For
main
sure. That's definitely
influences.
my day 100%. If anyone like knows who like I am and what I like, Justin Bieber was kind of like the founding father for, my music career. He was,
Okay.
he really kickstarted it. Yeah.
Is there anything
When I was like
particular
11.
like about Justin
Um,
Bieber?
yeah, his voice, honestly. You know, Before, when I would think about music and the success behind music, I would just think about like whether you have star quality, star power, like the way you look, the way you dress, the way you perform. But honestly, I feel like every behind every successful artist comes with a very unique and distinctive voice. And I think a lot of artists they don't really think about that. When it comes to putting out a song or building their artistry, they just think of like making a cool song. But for me, honestly, it's about conveying your emotions and your story through your voice because that's what music really is. And that is what differentiates um, any artist from the other people. So I feel like Justin has an immaculate voice, and he's just the best performer that I know. So I just look up to him a lot. I think he's super, super brave at a very young age, and it just taught me how to just, you know, not lose focus and just stay true to who you are. And one day, you're gonna get the recognition you deserve. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, congratulations on your recent single as well, Deja Vu.
Thank
Um,
you.
you're welcome. Has there been sort of any particular inspiration behind the lyrics of the song?
So, funny story. My first single that I ever put out in 2015 is called Nostalgic.
Okay.
And I always get, reminiscent about, the past and just kind of reflecting upon myself and, what really made me who I am today. And I just feel like the reason why I'm kind of going off the lane of Y2K and just early 2000s is because I feel like, even though I'm 25 right now, I feel like the best days of my life were kind of like growing up, like during my childhood, during my adolescence, finding out who Justin Bieber was, like this whole, coming of age type, finding out my
Yeah.
first love. So I just feel like, nostalgia, sorry, nostalgia has always been kind of like a key element in my life. And it ties back to that a lot. So deja vu kind of just brings back, the memories, of me finding my first love and just making it super relatable with the audience. Because I'm sure everybody gets deja vu all the time. And for me, I get it as well. So I'm just trying to portray more of my songwriting, more of my emotions throughout this track and just make it as upbeat as possible and just try to diversify it with a little bit more, melodic and rhythmic stuff. So yeah.
Sure. And for like listeners as well, is there like any particular message you'd want them to take away from listening to the song?
For sure, for sure. You know, I think finding love is definitely the most special thing in the world. But I feel like just don't let it distract you, you know? I feel like if anything, it should make you stronger. Um, and I think self-reflection is really, really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So talking of love, you had another single out, Situationship, which is
Yeah.
sort of more focusing on that common modern dating experience.
Yeah.
Is there any particular dynamic or situation that inspired you to write this
Mhm.
song?
Honestly, for this type of song, it has zero meaning behind it. A lot of people think like, oh, this guy's definitely been through a lot. He's a player, whatever. But honestly, when I was making the song, I remember like vividly. I was in the studio. I picked up the guitar, and then I was just playing like a bunch of chords. And then me and my producer, we were just vibing. And the first thing that came out of my mouth literally was "Dynamite, girl, your body like dynamite." And it was like, "Oh shit, man, that's fire!" And then I was like, "Yeah, I agree." And then we were just, building off of it, and then it just went to like the situation. Like I needed to add one more syllable. So I was like,
Right.
situation ship, and then it just turned out to be situation ship, with literally zero meaning behind it. I feel like that's just, how I write songs normally. Sometimes you put together, all the puzzle pieces and it just makes a great song. But really, this song, from a whole is about just kind of navigating yourself, from kind of like the fuck boy phase to like a lover boy phase. It's just like you know, uh, finding out what you really, really want. I think that's really, really important. But I don't think I've ever been in a situationship. So I guess the message, for all my audience is, you know, to not label things. Honestly,
Sure.
whether it's friendship, situationship, a fling, a friends with benefits, a relationship or marriage, like anything, I feel like, once you put a label on it, it just restricts you, it limits you. I feel like love is endless, it's limitless, and it really, you should just let the time flow with it. There's no such thing as just locking yourself into a ship or anything. But I'm a firm believer of everything starts with friendship. If you don't have like a genuine connection, I feel like you can't build anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And just a few more questions as well. If you were sort of looking back at your younger self or
Yeah.
any sort of aspiring younger musicians, is there any sort of one piece of advice that you'd give to them?
I think hard work, as cliched as it sounds, I think you just really gotta believe in yourself, believe in what you really want, and just ask yourself, would you do this for free for other people? For me, it's all about kind of like charity.
Okay.
And I think, if your ultimate goal is, fame, success, or whatnot, I feel like just know what you want and know how to get there. It's going to be a long, grueling process, but there's a lot of factors that plays into your success, and everybody has a different story. But just always be honest and open about it. Don't try to, you know, um, do something else that you're not, or sacrifice, the majority of yourself for something. I think people want to see you for you.
Yeah.
So, just growing up, I feel like the hardest thing is being yourself, honestly. As easy as it sounds, but I feel like it's the hardest thing because you get influenced, you get swayed easily. So, and your mind, your brain is constantly changing and developing. So, you really don't know. You get clouded sometimes. But, now I just, if you just take out all the artistry away from me, all the music, whatever, my following, and just kind of relive my childhood again. That's the Sonny Lucas that people want to see. The goofy side, the cute little, no guard, just full transparency, super vulnerable. That's the person that people want to see, rather than like the all polished and all dressed up.
Yeah. No, definitely. And sort of in the future, then, is there anything that we can expect soon from you as an
For
artist?
sure. So we're gonna be doing the music video of Deja Vu. The video of Role Model is gonna be out soon, which
Okay.
features me playing tennis. And I'm gonna be going on tour in the States, and doing a bunch of music festivals in China. I'm actually going to Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore next week, to do, my promo and stuff for Deja Vu. But expect an album coming out as well, towards the end of the year. It's gonna be my second album. So I'm really, really just excited. There's a lot of exciting things going on, and I feel like that's, something that music can bring to me is just traveling around the world and just meeting so many different people and connecting with them and just learning about different cultures and languages. I think that that's the greatest part about doing, what I do. So I think, I'm just super grateful, honestly. And thanks for this interview.
Yeah, no, just last question. Is there any message or sorry, any final message that you have for your sort of music supporters here in Korea and overseas?
감사합니다. 신곡 데자부 나왔어. Uh, yeah, I mean, I love Korea. I feel like it's such a raw city. There's so much heart and soul. Everything is so just authentic, and um, you I'm gonna be doing a show out here soon, so stay tuned and just go out there, be yourself. Don't be afraid to express or show your emotions. Set yourself free. The world is so beautiful. Don't go out, don't drink, stay sober, just stay positive. Mentally, good for you. Physically, it's even better. So let me just discipline everybody, and and just, yeah, spread as much positivity as you can. Honestly, I love supporting other people too. So hit me up, if you guys ever want to talk. You know, I'm just like anybody else. I'm a normal person. I just really love doing music. So yeah, you can find me anywhere. Just hit me up.
Cool. Amazing. Thank you for your time.